So it's no secret Ford is not doing so good right now. Their profits down, their revenues down, they're not selling as many cars, and people just don't want to buy their overpriced junk. Ford is known as the recall king. They've already had over 40 recalls this year. And it just really goes to show the quality of their product. They put out the cheapest product they can and they charge the highest price they can. That's why they have so many recalls, from bad parts to horrible manufacturing and bad engineering. They just simply don't build these cars to last. And Ford loses so much money on their electric vehicle segment. So I go to a dealership and there's 2023 Mach-E still on the lot, and even 2023 F-150 Black Widow packages that a dealership's had over 700 days sitting outside. And this is every Ford dealership across America. All you're going to see is 2024s mainly. You would think you would see 2025s, but no, very few. And it's crazy. The fact of the matter is they're still getting 2024s sent to the dealership right now. So if the allocation's open, Ford is still sending the dealership 2024 model years almost halfway through 2025. And it really makes me wonder, what is Ford thinking? Do they know who their customer base is? They went all in on super expensive SUVs and crazy $100,000 pickup trucks. I mean, the cheapest F-150 I'm walking up to is basically 60 grand. And I've seen an F-250 for $154,000. It's completely insane. It almost doesn't make sense. For a pickup truck, are you kidding me? And I understand banks are loaning out 84 months, soon probably to be 15 years on car loans. Believe it or not, a $1,000 payment at your local Ford dealership is pretty dang common. If you're buying an $80,000 F-150, unless you're putting a huge down payment, I mean, these people are going to be in a $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 truck payment. And you know what's going to happen. They're going to get a recall in that brand new truck. So you're paying all this money to get a quality product, but you're just not getting one. You're getting a product that's going to break down. It's going to have issues. It's made out of all this plastic. And so you're paying 80 grand for an F-150. But the crazy part about it is you're going to have issues with it. You're going to have a recall. Almost any vehicle they offer. And I hope the dealership's able to give you a loaner car. But the problem is when everybody has an issue, there's only so many loaner cars to go around. Imagine being stuck making a $1,400 Ford truck payment for an F-150 and it's stuck in the shop. And we're not even talking about older trucks. We're talking about brand new trucks breaking down here. And even their Lincoln side, they have a lot of old inventory. It's all 2024s. They don't have the new body styles out. They're all $100,000+, even 120 grand. And honestly, to buy these vehicles at these inflated prices, knowing how quick and how much the vehicle's going to go down in value, you're just throwing money literally in the trash. Then you got the CEO over here saying he's trying to really work his dealers, saying no market adjustments, none of this stuff. Well, I still go to Ford dealerships and see market adjustments, addendum stickers, all these stupid add-ons, but I completely cannot understand anybody paying a markup or any add-on for a Ford or Lincoln vehicle. It just doesn't make any sense. They're not worth it. They're already so overpriced to begin with because, let's not forget, Ford increased their price so much over the last 5 years. So every single Ford dealership in your area is going to be loaded to the brim. They're not going to have any spots to put any vehicles. This is just the situation they're in. The average day supply is probably over 100 days on their car lot. And this whole employee pricing deal Ford was running, it's kind of funny. People really quickly found out it's just a marketing scheme. They went to the dealership thinking they were getting a bigger discount. No, it's the same that they were getting last month, and it's not enough for them to buy it. Because how much would you need off an $80,000 or $90,000 F-150 to purchase that vehicle? I mean, for real, this is how overpriced these things are. And all I'm seeing is commercials nonstop of local dealerships running employee pricing. So I get it. It's a marketing deal. You just got to get people in. And they're just trying to sell the payment. That's all it is. It's 90% of people that buy vehicles from these dealerships are paying payments. They're not buying it cash. And I would argue most dealerships, 72 months are their most common and probably ticking up to 84 now. That's where most people are going. So they're financing it longer. They're going to be more upside down. And Ford is really bad about negative equity because these things lose value so quick. Especially people that paid over MSRP for Ford Broncos and all this stuff just a few years ago. They're way upside down. So they go to the Ford dealership. They're like, we can't get you approved unless you put a large down payment because they owe more than the car's actually worth. And it's becoming so common right now. I really do think Ford is making huge mistakes. They're not looking at the long run. They're just looking at right now. They switched from selling sedans and they only want to sell those super expensive trucks and SUVs. They obviously don't know who their clientele base is. And if they sold that more affordable car, they would get someone in the brand Ford and then they would work them up and eventually they might be buying a $120,000 Lincoln. Brand loyalty is a crazy thing and people get stuck on these brands and they don't buy anything else. But not with Ford because you had issues with it. You probably had recall. You know you're upside down. You know it doesn't hold value. You know it's unreliable. You know it's not a quality vehicle after you own it. So you're just like, no, I'm not going back to Ford at all. So they're running through the customers that they had quicker than quick. But it's almost like every single automotive manufacturer is building a worse product, but they're charging more money for it. But let me know what you think. Is this employee pricing going to get you to run to a Ford dealership thinking you're getting a good deal, or have you gotten a good deal? I just think all this stuff is pretty much overpriced junk, especially coming from Ford. Let me know what you think. Have a great day and stay blessed.